Victory Through Air Power is that strange, nearly lost Disney film that really bombed. Let's head back to the Disney studios in 1942, while World War II was raging across Europe, Africa, and the Pacific. Victory Through Air Power is the film even lifelong Disney fans forget exists. Yet it may be the single most consequential movie Walt ever made. Not because it's charming, not because it's beautiful, but because it was designed unapologetically to influence the strategy of the United States in World War II. And it worked. At the end of this video, you'll find a link where you can watch this 1 hour feature. The story begins in 1942, when Walt Disney was running a studio that felt less like a dream factory and more like a military subcontractor with better murals. After Pinocchio, Fantasia, and Bambi underperformed at the box office, the US government stepped in with training films, propaganda reels, and morale boosting shorts. Walt took the work seriously. He believed animation could explain anything to anyone. Enter Major Alexander P. de Seversky, a Russian born military officer, aviator, inventor, and relentless evangelist for air power. He had written a book, Victory Through Air Power, arguing that the Allies needed long range bombers to strike deep into enemy territory. Walt read it, loved it, and wanted to support it. He said, I felt that if this book could be dramatized, if it could be made clear to the public, then it could help to win the war. He invited Seversky to the studio, listened to him talk for hours, and decided to make a feature film. Not for children, not for families, but for generals, politicians, and anyone who could influence strategy. Roy Disney reportedly stared at him like he'd announced he was opening a chain of Disney branded laundromats. But Walt was immovable. We're going to make this picture, he said, because it's important. The team behind Victory Through Air Power was a mix of patriotic animators, exhausted effects artists, and a few poor souls who probably wondered how their careers had led them to drawing exploding zeppelins. Directing duties fell to James Algar, Clyde Geronimi, and Jack Kinney, three of Walt's most trusted hands. Algar had just finished work on Fantasia. Now he was animating the history of aviation. Kinney, known for Goofy Shorts, suddenly found himself storyboarding the bombing of Japanese supply lines. One animator joked, I used to draw dancing mushrooms. Now I draw the destruction of the Axis. It's the same wrist motions, different stakes. Mary Blair contributed color styling, giving the film its bold, modernist palette. Her work made even the diagrams feel alive. The live action sequences featured Seversky himself, who insisted on delivering his arguments directly to the camera. Walt encouraged him, saying, just talk like you're explaining it to me. Seversky took that to heart. He talked for so long that editors had to carve his monologues into digestible pieces. The movie opens with a sweeping animated history of flight, from Leonardo da Vinci's sketches to the Wright brothers' first hop at Kitty Hawk. It's charming, energetic, and unmistakably Disney. This is followed by a history of World War II up to that point. Both stories are told with energy and surprising accuracy. Animation was used to great effect to illustrate Axis success up to 1942. This was no propaganda film. Then the tone shifts. The film becomes a strategic argument. Air power is the key to Allied victory. Animated maps show supply lines, enemy strongholds, and the reach of long range bombers. The narration is firm, urgent, and occasionally dramatic enough to make you check the sky for incoming aircraft. Seversky appears throughout, delivering his case with professional intensity. Walt liked him because he was passionate. Audiences liked him because he seemed like the kind of man who could build a bomber out of spare parts and a stern lecture. The climax is a fully animated sequence showing long range bombers striking enemy factories in an imaginative, stylized vision of what Seversky believed the Allies must do. It's part documentary, part persuasion, and part animated war plan. And then it ends, not with a song, not with a moral, but with a call to action, exemplified by a battle between the American eagle and the many tentacled Axis octopus. Here's where the story becomes legend. Winston Churchill saw the film and loved it. Franklin D. Roosevelt saw the film and took it seriously. According to multiple accounts, the movie helped influence Allied strategic thinking about long range bombing. Walt later said, "If the picture had any effect at all on the war, then it was worth everything." In fact, Allied strategy included most of the actions called for by Seversky, like industrial bombing and the development of a super long range bomber like the B 29 Superfortress shown here, along with nose art created at the Disney studio. So, Victory Through Air Power didn't make money. It didn't win awards. It didn't become a beloved classic. In fact, it seems to have vanished. But it did something no other Disney film has ever done. It helped shape military policy. The studio rarely talked about it afterward. It was too odd, too political, too unlike anything else in the Disney canon. But for Walt, it was one of the proudest achievements of his life. He believed animation could change the world, and in that moment, it surely did. Today, Victory Through Air Power stands as a reminder that Disney history is full of surprises. Like the time the man who gave us Mickey Mouse communicated a war winning strategy. You can use this link to see Victory Through Air Power, which I highly recommend to historians and fans of Walt's classics. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think below and consider liking and subscribing. Those things help our channel more than you can possibly know.